To the microphone. Please look around and say hello to your fellow Rotarians and welcome those in online. Are there any visiting Rotarians today? There are no Rotarians present. Thank you. Are there any online? Okay, we'll start with yes. Can we start with your table, Julia?
Sure. I guess for the second person over, first a DDSI, and hopefully we'll be 20.
And the next table. Do you have any guesses? Great, welcome. All right, how about this table back here? Okay.
At our table, we have Jose from Newport High School as a senior, and I think he's gonna do a presentation here today or next week or coming next week.
Right, we've got 4 off-the exchange students here. We've got 2 of our outbounds, which are Leeds and Hayden, and then our inbounds, Yulee and Shorten.
If you would like a hoodie and haven't signed up yet, please sign the sheet that John is passing around, and the hoodies will be offered at a discounted rate depending upon how many Rotarians are interested. Also, the seafood and wine sign-up sheet to help with sorting compostable waste, sweeping, or bin patrol is being passed around by Amy. And in exchange, you will get 4 free admission tickets
So
And
4 days, 1 admission ticket for the
for 4 days. Got it. Thank you. And 100 Paul Harris points as a thank you. The next thing I'd like to talk about is our evening social. It'll be on Tuesday, January 24th, starting at 5:15 p.m. at the Library District Office, which is located by KSHL and Camp One Coffee. I'd like to invite Freddie Saxton up to the podium, please. Freddie, I would like to present you with your Paul Harris +5.
Thank you.
+5. Wow.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Freddie. Is Jeanette Campagna here? I don't.
Not here.
Okay, great. Next, I would like to introduce our Major Sergeant at Arms, Freeman, please. Oh, Keith.
Yes, Rotary Friendship Exchange. We have an inbound coming from Atlantic Canada, the end of May. And if you're interested in hosting a family, there'll be 6 couples coming. And probably the 23rd through the 29th. Is anyone here interested in hosting? We got to decide whether we're going to do it or not do it, and we put families. So if you got, is anybody here interested? Nobody. We might not, well, I do those families.
Yeah. So we're saying a family, like.
Two people, you know, most likely a married couple will be coming and they'll. So. The heaters,
May
23rd to 29th. Yeah,
We're trying to say months later. Months later.
well, that's all I get. So we're coming to the district the 21st through June 3rd, and Camille's trying to figure out in that which period they can be in which town. So she hasn't fixed that yet, but if we can't come up with 6 families, it's gonna be easy. And they say we can't do it.
I will talk to my partner when I get home.
Okay, so make sure to reach out and contact me if you can do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, Major.
Hi, everybody. Anybody know what these are? Hold on. I haven't used these in about 3 to 4 weeks. We have a lot of sun outside today, so I had to pull these things out, didn't know how to put them on. Took me a while to adjust to them. Anybody else have that problem? Yeah. Okay, well, let me take them off for, I just had a little bit of fun with that. It's nice to see the sun. Now, I was looking at my phone. I had to look at our weather because we haven't had sun in a while. And the weather is projected to have some sun for the next few days. One day of rain on Saturday, but all next week is supposed to be, yeah, get some little bit of clouds, but some sun 3 days in a row. So I'm super excited to be in the outdoors for the next week here and exploring a little bit and not to be drenched on by the rain. So hopefully you guys go out there and enjoy the coast as well, since we live in a very beautiful part of the state. I have some stuff here, but before I do my stuff, I just was wondering if anybody wanted to share any happy bucks or want to share anything eventful that has happened in their life that they wanted to share with the club. We've got some time today because usually I get about 5 minutes, and I've got more than 5 minutes today. So if you do, when you do, come up to the center, please, and use the mic. Go ahead. I see one hand already.
That's,
It's on.
so I'm $20 happy because we got the schedule for football games out yesterday. So Austin will have 7 home games, so that's especially exciting. I've got a duck there, so I get some inside track on some tickets, so.
Oh, very good, very good.
$20 happy on that.
Thank you for sharing some duck news. Anybody else want to share? You can just keep the mic. Yeah, it should be good right there. Probably need to get a pillow for that or something so it doesn't roll everywhere. All right, anybody else? There's a bunch of you here today. I mean, it's a great 3 weeks in a row. Almost every seat's been filled here. I think it's awesome. And then we got people online. If you can share as well. Anybody online want to share? You can as well. You're not excluded from our sharing of great news. Wow, we got quite a few online today too. Don't be shy. Okay, excellent. I'm glad you're sharing. Sharing is caring.
Well, this is the retrograde chair. I missed my birthday time and to be called up by a couple of months.
Oh, a couple of months, okay.
So I am my age, which I turned in November 11th of 82. And so I am donating 82 to my care.
Paul, say $82. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. It would be good. All right, someone else is coming to the mic. He's gonna do a mic drop. Let's see. No, just kidding.
I'll have the pillow here.
It's on. It's perfect.
So I'll be $50 happy with my Paul Harris. My youngest, Coco, she qualified for All-State Band. She was the only student from Newport who qualified, and only one of 6 freshmen in the whole state of Oregon, all A's who qualified.
What did she play?
She did on, she went last Thursday and played on Saturday or Sunday, excuse me.
What instrument?
She plays the clarinet, sorry.
Clarinet. Excellent. Well, I'm a musician. Thank you. Congratulations. All right. There's another one, wonderful.
So it'll be $25, I call yours. My partner had his knee replaced on Monday in Albany. They did a great job. He is home on drugs. Okay, when I get back, and I'm so very happy that. Extremely successful.
Betty's coming back up from more punishment. I mean, to share some more news. Go ahead, Betty.
Figured I'd help you fill a few more minutes since you have more than 5, so.
Good.
I'd like to give $20 Happy Bucks, Newport cheer to the second last week in their cheer competition, so.
Oh,
20.
excellent. I know it's not on the list and I need to update it for my sake, because you know, you can go on, right, and update your information. Oh, that's a mic drop. Right.
Oh.
I've done that before. A lot more work. I need to update my profile because sometimes you can go on there and update it, right? So I didn't put my wedding anniversary. This Sunday is 18 years of marriage with my wife. I share that same date with somebody else, Jeanette, but I don't see her here today. But she has a wedding anniversary as well. She has 17 years with her spouse. So give her a hand as well. Congratulations to our new member. Then we have Levi. I can't read too well up here because it's dark. Has a wedding anniversary as well on the 23rd, which is on a Monday. The Levi? Did I say that right? Yes, yes. 22 years. Online? Nope. Okay. Al, is Al here or online? Because he had a birthday too this past week. We haven't seen him. So make sure you reach out to him and wish him a happy birthday as well. His birthday was on the 18th. And Marcia, is Marcia Buckley here? She's got a birthday coming up as well, but we'll pick on her next time. All right, anybody else? Oh, yes, come on up.
This is a Happy Bucks.
Okay.
Skip this because I hate it.
Okay.
Phone candy. I know we're not supposed to have our phones. You all need to write down March 10th and 11th. And clear that for Rotary Youth Exchange District meeting. We have somewhere between 50 and 60 kids. I haven't gotten a final count yet coming at us. And our club hosts and sponsors them for an entire weekend. So we need housing on Friday nights and Saturday night. You have to provide beds and or an area for them with their sleeping bags. And possibly a breakfast of some kind in the morning for them on both Saturday morning and Sunday morning. And then your committee, your youth exchange committee will do the rest of the work as far as what the plans are for the weekend. But we don't want to get caught with not enough housing. So everybody please put that on your calendars and clear out a spare bedroom and or some floor space for inbound and outbound students. They're delightful, they're joyful. It's a great weekend for the district. When they come up, they love this weekend because it's well planned, well organized. And all they have to do is do their meetings and we take care of those kids. So let's do it.
We've been planning ahead, so I'm going to commit to. I got a big house, you know my house.
Then commit more.
All you have to do is feed them for breakfast and then they're gone.
I got 2 beds, 2 extra beds. So, excellent. You're welcome. Anybody else? All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Major Raymond. Laura, would you please come up and introduce our program today?
Okay. So. Always after microphone. I'm ready. So today we have our member spotlight, and you're gonna hear a lot about this person during their speech, so we'll give the introduction during. So our member spotlight is Julia Doties. And Julie's gonna tell you a lot about herself. But one thing you should know, in case she does not talk about this, is she got a new baby kitten recently that is adorable. So hopefully she'll share that with us. And she is a trivia master, she's very good at trivia. And so we can give Julia a round of applause. Here.
My trivia teams have not gotten any less than 4th place. That's not good winner.
You said it to me again? After I shut it down.
It might be in your downloads. folder. There it is.
John.
See you guys just at the beginning. Give you guys a little spring. All right. From now on, if anybody wants, or everybody should put their presentations in Keynote because we can have a remote. Okay. Baby me. So I was hoping to put this presentation off for another 20 years, but Laura asked me to present, and so I couldn't say no. Unlike some people who love saying no to librarians, I cannot say no. So today I'm going to be telling you about myself and my life, highlighting 2 big topics: my job and how I got to the Rotary Club, and a bunch of stuff in between. Before I get to that, I will give you some background. I was born in 1984 in Southern California in the town of Glendale. My mom and dad lived in Montrose, which is in the valley near Pasadena, north of Los Angeles. I was the first of 2 kids. The second kid is my brother, Jonathan, who was born 3 years after me and now lives in Portland with his wife. He works as a welder. It's amazing. He's the best. Totally, you can great one day. Just after my brother was born, my parents decided they didn't like what was happening in Los Angeles, so they moved us up to Northern California, where they found a house in the town of Loomis, which happens to be a couple of towns over from Auburn, which is where Ruth Ann, our new member, is from. Very nice to find that out about her. I went to preschool, grade school, middle school, then high school, all around the same area, with the same people. I was described as a bright and talkative child, and the only trouble I ever got into was talking rhythms during class. Exactly. Yep. I started playing music in concert band and jazz band when I was in 5th grade. Started with the flute. In 7th grade, I switched to the tenor saxophone and played on that all through high school in marching band, concert band, orchestra. And jazz band, I played the baritone saxophone, which is that big, huge one. It's my favorite instrument, it still is. I also played the trombone 1 year when I was a sophomore in marching band. I drifted through school, headed in no particular direction with music, and the only thing that really kept me anchored and semi-interested. I barely graduated in 2003, and then 6 months later, moved out of my mom's house to my friend's house in Sacramento. Flash forward to 6 years to 2009, when I came upon an opportunity to work for Apple. This is me in 2009. And that's my Apple badge. That's kind of, oh, thanks. I saw the big box. It's been my thing. It's always been when I tell people, at least around here, I work for Apple, they will ask me, what do you do? There are no stores around here. And I let them know that I work from home as a tech support manager. It's the easiest description. Presently, my job title is team manager, and the organization that I work in is called Apple Care. And that is Apple's separate company for their tech support. And it's also the name of the plan that you get if you want extended coverage for your device.
AppleCare is an international organization. There's experts all over the world, and I wanted to give you some facts of how many people are actually in that organization, but I'm not allowed to. I asked Big Boss, and she's like, "Actually, it's internal." All right, so in that case, public website screenshot. So, but it's big. AppleCare is a huge, huge organization. And so this is from our website, like really the support section of the Apple website is pretty much my job and my employee's job. All these products here, my team will help you with if you call. So this coming August, I will celebrate my 14th anniversary at Apple and begin my 15th year there. Like I said, I was hired in 2009, but not home. I started at an actual call center in a building, which is located just outside of Sacramento in Northern California. I started in regular tech support as a tier 1 advisor. Apple calls them advisors, not reps. I did not have any tech support experience prior to getting into tech support because Apple really values people skills over technical skills. And it's easier to teach people technical skills than it is to teach people skills. I grew up using computers, so that's what helped me be eligible to work for Apple, helped me succeed there, and I'm also really good with people. Recently, John and I discovered that the term for people who grew up using the internet and technology are called tech natives. And so that's, we were trying to talk, we were talking millennials for tech natives, so nicer. So I kind of fit that label. Because it was so awesome at the tier 1 job, I was promoted to tier 2, which is who you talk to if you ask to speak to a supervisor at Apple. When you call. Then because I was awesome at that, I was promoted to the equivalent of tier 3, which is called a senior specialist. At that point, I did not take any more incoming tech support calls, but began providing support and training for the tier 2 teams and also internally escalated technical support for high profile customers. Probably gonna get in trouble for telling that. What? Exactly. Then in 2013, I continued to be awesome to the point where Apple wanted me to help other people be awesome, and I was promoted to team manager, and that was in 2013. That was also the year that I met my partner, Eric, at work. I was his manager, just for a couple weeks. There we are in 2014 with my car. He works in a different department now. Not so sure.
He worked at Kill.
He sure is. Straight from Scotland.
Did he work next to you?
When I met him,
Yeah.
I had to sit and do a meeting with him. And he's hilarious. He's the funniest person I've ever met. And my was really huge call center. I was laughing. Eric's talking to me, and my friend, like on the other side of the building, like chats me in our internal chat. What are you cackling at? So yeah. Okay, so at the end of 2015, thankfully, I was able to transfer into the at-home program, doing the same job. I never wanted to work from home, but I wanted to move to Oregon. So I was horrified by the idea of trying to find another job after I moved. I'm not a good caregiver. Beyond that, the next question I sometimes get is, what did you go to school for in order to work for Apple? And then whoever asked me that is usually a little surprised when I say that I did not go to college. School was really tough for me because all my friends were there and we had so much to talk about, and school wasn't nearly as engaging as my friends were. It's true. Teacher should have been more interesting. Like I said, I barely graduated. And once I did, I went to community college for 3 months and then dropped out because I was highly distractible and, for lack of a better word, undisciplined. So after that, I spent 7 years from the ages of 18 to 25 working multiple random jobs without any sense of identity. Not that a job should give you an identity, but definitely felt aimless in all the jobs that I had. Here's a couple of pictures from that time period. Went to a lot of concerts. Here you see me enjoying one of those concerts. My mall security badge.
You're mall security. I love mall security.
No. You did like some like certification thing, and I never got that, so they just stuck me in the office. I didn't dispatch most of the time. And then the top one is my friend and I. We worked at a late night burger place in the gay district in Sacramento. Lots of activity there. And then the bottom corner is the second longest job I had at a family-owned automotive and towing company. And I'm not sure why I'm pouting, but I feel like it's probably because I know I'm gonna kill that plant. I knew it.
Or they did wouldn't live.
All of that. So I went to lots and lots, oh yeah, skipping I'm off track here. Okay. Also, I got married when I was 21, but I'm not showing pictures from that because it's not a memory that I enjoy. We got divorced when I was 25. Who cares? All right. So. I couldn't find a paper. So then in 2009, like I mentioned, we found a job out. So my ex and I, we both ended up working for Apple. The way that happened was that my ex and I both lost our jobs. The house we were renting was foreclosed, and we found ourselves living in a trailer on his parents' property out in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains. We tried to find jobs, but the recession was still happening. We also had satellite internet up in the mountains, not very helpful for looking for jobs online. And then a group of our friends that all worked for Apple told us that there's a temp agency that does staffing for Apple is looking for people. And so that's what we did. We applied. And I started as a temp and then was hired on officially. And then here I am today. Any questions before I keep going? Okay. So now we've come full circle. How did I end up using so much of my time to help other people and at the Rotary Club specifically? So I like helping people a lot. I like helping people more, or I like helping people be happy more specifically. And that's a big reason, if not the reason, why I shift my career into food, because food makes people happy, desserts specifically. I became a manager because I wanted to help people, but then when it came time for me to toe the corporate line and hold them accountable for the work that they were doing, it wasn't the kind of helping that I wanted to do all the time. So through this whole journey of working for the biggest tech company in the world, I had repeatedly been finding myself looking for some greater meaning in the work that I was doing and how I was spending my time. About 6 years ago, I started thinking about how I give 40 of my best hours every week, year after year, to a corporation that felt, I mean, it's huge. So it felt impersonal and it felt baseless. I felt like I was giving my best self to do my job. It wasn't what I wanted. And so thankfully, well, actually, I want to mention, to be fair to my employer, the catalyst for that was I had a really bad manager. And so I was really kind of spiraling a little bit. But then I got a better one. So let's see. For so long in my career, I had just been working to travel and go out and experience concerts and restaurants, which are still two of my biggest passions that I still enjoy all the time. But I can only go to Europe once a year, so I have to save up on my vacation all year, and that's just not enough. And I was looking for something to fulfill me in a real way for the rest of the time that I was at home. Thankfully, Apple is one of the better corporations to work for and has an employee giving program where the company matches money to the amount of hours that I volunteer. And so they have a repository where you can search for our volunteering opportunities there at work online. And so there I found in Sacramento a opportunity to volunteer for the MLK Junior March. I think this was 2016. Back to in Sacramento. So I got to wear a little vest and direct people who were parking, and then march with everybody through Sacramento all the way to the Capitol. It was a pretty incredible experience. So that was really fun. I felt useful, but I didn't do anything else in Sacramento just because we're playing in Portland pretty soon. After moving to Portland, I found a website called Hands On Portland and was able to find multiple opportunities that included volunteering in a women's day shelter called Rose Haven. Also volunteered at the annual Art of the Pearl Festival. And then also joined a volunteering group that was affiliated with a brewery in Portland called Ex Novo, which is on my shirt today. And the group was called Communitas. We did all sorts of stuff. Socialized Humane Society animals, baked holiday cookies, and put up decorations for Ronald McDonald House, cleaned the garden at the school. The picture here on the left is after we pet animals for 2 hours at the Humane Society, and then the one on the right, we were making greeting cards to send some kids. And all right, when I moved to Newport, I only lived in Portland for a year because it was not what I was expecting, not as friendly as I wanted it to be. And so I found Newport and then friendliest here. It worked out. So I was looking for something new in Newport, and there was no hands-on Newport website with all volunteering opportunities. And so I was looking around, and so I found the Newport Food Pantry. And I spent 3 years there cooking lunches for our visitors. And at the time of my departure, I was the board president and the pantry manager and making lunches every week while running everything. So that was very tiring. And so I resigned from there a couple months ago. So these are a few of the many, many, many things that I made for our visitors completely for free. The top one, the holiday meal, I did by myself at that time. And it's, people waited a long time, but it was good. All right. Okay, so in 2021, I decided that I wanted to work towards starting my own business in food. And the pantry actually helped me a lot with that. The founders were really supportive of what I wanted to do, and they were helping me with like costing and all this really helpful stuff. And so in the process of trying to make it work, just planning my business for food, Maison Cafe, the owner Kate, offered to let me use her kitchen. And Jeff Lickman, who was a previous member here in our club, was working there at Maison Cafe the day that I was there waiting. And we ended up talking, and I got up on my soapbox about how Newport could be better, and he decided that I should talk to Diane. And so he took my phone number and gave it to Diane, and she called me 45 minutes later. And invited me to my first meeting at the Best Western on the day that Lola did her presentation. And I was horrified by doing a presentation because it was so excellent. It all worked out, and I know all of you. So since joining the club, I've done all sorts of things, this club, including getting involved with Sonia and Jeanette for the Coastbusters Walk for breast cancer, which honestly has been one of the best things I've ever done. And I'm looking forward to doing this year's event. I looked for pictures from last year's and I didn't find any, because I was so busy I didn't take any. So I did those for fun. But I realized this year I'm doing the Seize the Day committee chair, and so getting involved in that as well. So just to finish up, and that's all I had about Rotary Club, and just to finish, just a couple quick facts. I've been to 8 countries in Europe. I was going to do more pictures, but I had to email them all myself, and it was taking forever. But we go to Prague every year in the Czech Republic to a music festival. That's what that is picture is from. And I'm a member of the Yelp Elite group, which is basically an acknowledgement and validation for writing helpful reviews. And there's some perks involved in that. So we'll screenshot of all my badges. And I have 2 cats. There they are over on that side. Pins is on the top. And that's a Sami, the kitten on the bottom. And I don't have any kids, and I do not know how many tattoos I have. Yeah. Any questions about anything?
I have a question.
Yes.
So you started your own business, I don't know, so you're a caterer, you've not, you're working on it. What are you going to describe to what they're going to be? What do you think?
My end goal is to get a brick and mortar location in Newport. I have my eye on the space between the Bayfront and Highway where Maison is, maybe not Maison, but I'll ask her. But I would really like, I want to do sandwiches and salads and handheld desserts. And the key part of it is going to be beach boxes, I'm going to call them, and it'll be grab and go sandwiches and salads. And half the menu is going to be vegan. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
What brought you to Newport?
The ocean. We had the opportunity, we could live anywhere in North America with our jobs, because my partner also works from home. And so in Portland, we were going to concerts all the time, and it was awesome and everything, but we would always come to the ocean on our weekends. And so we figured that we could just flip flop, and we did that. Yeah, but also Oceana Natural Foods Cooperative is what kind of pulled me here. That made my decision final. I love produce. Anybody else? Cool, thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Julia. We would like to vaccinate 50 children in your name against polio.
Could remember if I got to vax kids.
Okay, Mark, do you have a secretary's report and a member incentive for us?
if this is still working, yes. We have 41 members in attendance today, which is about 55%. And the member incentive award would have gone to John Baker if he hadn't been here.
Great, thank you. And Ron, you have the social media award.
Yes, it is Patty Eisler.
Great. And how about the 50-50?
I sure do. Hey, nobody bought anything today, so we're at $185 for standard. So divided by 2 is $92.50. And the winner is. Anybody but Mary Kay?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Our next lunch next Thursday will be the January Students of the Month. So Dave or Kathy, would you like to take us out in the four-way test, please?
Fine. The things that can do, number one, is good. Second, is it all? Third. Fourth. And the number 5, the digging.
Does anybody else have any last minute announcements or anything else that they want to talk about before we adjourn? Well, with that, we're adjourned.
Worst case
No. Yeah, no, oh my grandson. Honey, they will be. He's the young one. Oh, they had, oh my God. Landon is her grandson, but Jeff is his son.
Oh, Jeff's his son, okay.
And then Landon is Jeff. And then Jeff is the son and daughter. Landon was American. And I can remember. On a It was relaxing. It was it was raw. Yeah, the land and then hiding.
I mean, we always say they break down.
Nobody said anything about glasses.
Oh,
Was that?
oh,
That was last week.
you want table? Right here. Okay. That's nobody. You want, okay, you got it again.
Yeah.
Take both of these. They look like two, but
Yeah, because like, I was, I'm going to right away, so. Like, we would know. Well, it's like it is, and if I'm not that. So like, it just. Thank you.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, cool.
I still working on that thing.
You did. You really.
last week.
Yeah.
Perfect job.
That's been kind Yeah. Yeah, of course. But she's from Czech, and she did a presentation last week about it, and so she came to me afterwards. It's so cool. She's like, you like baking? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you like baking? She's like, yeah. She's like, it's not some special flour from the Czech Republic. I'm like, text me. I love it. Yeah.
Oh, that's good for you?
Yes.
And then you can-
I'm gonna go home and work. I'm gonna drink some water.
All right, good. Really good. Yep. Really happy that we stayed with me for next week.
Well, no, it's a private revenue.
Private revenue.
And we all look at it, and we're definitely aware.